Hello guys, it's DB Grinder here, back at it again with another video, and this time I have my written feature match from top 8 made into a replay. So I skipped over game 1. You can see that I said this is game 2. Also, hold on, before we hop in, I also have a sore throat, so I'm going to be drinking a lot of water during this, and I might sound a little bit different, but I'm committed. And, okay, so game 1, I only had one hand trap, and he had a way to play through it in combo. So that was game 1. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, now we got game 2. And this is my opening hand. I decide to draw phase, activate wanted. If this gets hand trapped, that's fine. If this doesn't get hand trapped, that's fine. You could say go to main phase to activate wanted, but I actually don't want my opponent to even think about talents when I activate wanted and draw phase. And I also spoke with Paul. This is Paulo PRJ, by the way. And I already knew he wasn't playing talents because we had spoke before the tournament, so I wasn't really worried about that either. But I go ahead, activate wanted, go ahead, search Snake Eye Diabelistar, discard special. You're supposed to summon this in defense. I see a lot of people don't do that, but you don't want them to be able to Charmer Crash. Then Black Witch effect. Of course, it's imperm whenever you have talents. Then I set talents as a bluff, and then pass turn. So they go draw phase, activate wanted, search out Black Witch, and then they go discard Snake Eye Diabelistar, summon Black Witch effect. I try to Moonlit Chill this. I don't want them to be able to get wanted draw. There's like a lot of pretty solid draws that they could end up getting there, assuming that this goes through. And then they also get like, okay. So moonlit this. Hope they don't have anything else. I also, technically, this isn't the right deck count right here. I just like copy and pasted my list here. The only real difference between the main deck list was he main decked a third or second talents and a called by, so he played 44 versus my 42. But my thought process on using Moonlit Chill on like the first action like this, instead of maybe waiting for like a Snake Eye Ash, was just simply I did not want them to get the original draw. There's just too many things that can start happening from there. So I did not want that to happen. And if they can push through, then at least I can drop Nib on the opponent. But in response, they chain Cross out, which, if they're using Cross out on Moonlit Chill, in this scenario, usually you don't want to activate Cross out on the first interaction that the opponent drops, unless if it's your only push. So I kind of had a feeling that his hand was pretty weak at this point. So, you know, go ahead, set the original there. Then original, send Black Witch, bring out Snake Eye Ash effect into a Poplar. And then summon Poplar, grab out Divine Temple, replace Snake Eye Diabelistar, Snake Eye Ash, send, summon Flamebird from hand, which, you know, I was very happy about them summoning Flamebird from hand, because at least that's like one less card that they have, right? And they also drew this, so they actually drew like both bricks, but this wasn't like a bad brick, because we had access to Black Witch, but drawing this sucked for them, for sure. Then they're going to Flamebird Black Witch, which is very smart on them there, because if I do drop Nib later, then Black Witch will get me follow-up. And also this makes it to where they play through Nib extremely well. So now go into Nightmare Phoenix, and then here they go Flamebird, Nightmare Phoenix, and Poplar. I just forgot to write it out there. I do think this is actually a misplay on Paulo's part. I think he should have activated Wanted effect to put back the original and draw, and see if maybe, maybe he draws like a card that's not so great. And maybe he wants to discard that and not the Ghost Ogre and hold Ghost Ogre as like a interruption for my turn. So I do think that was like a slight misplay on his part right there. So then it resolves, pops the bluff talents that I had set, which I'm still not 100% sure if talents even should have been set, because realistically, at that point, cards in hand are almost like when you have set cards, they have to be used rather early, right? Like obviously it's not skill drain, obviously it's not Metaltronus. Crossout would have been used turn one. It's not imperm. So at this point, there's a decent chance that like they don't even Nightmare Phoenix pop it, because it could very well, like, it's not that hard to read it as wanted or a bluff talons. So it's actually pretty easy to read that there. So I probably should have left talents in hand, so that way, if I survive, then on the follow up, I have talents to try to push through the board better, and also I'm losing talents to get rid of the worst card in their hand, because Nightmare Phoenix is just gonna discard the worst card in their hand, and then, like, I'm pretty much losing talents for the worst card in their hand. But right there, they only had one card in hand. Like, imagine they summoned Flamebird from deck and they wanted draw. They'd have 3 blinks and they discard the worst to pop a card that helps me push through next turn. So, like, this should have just been held in hand. It should not have been set there. I don't think that set was the greatest thing for me to do. Wanted, go ahead, put back, and then they draw one. Obviously here I kind of like showed it. I didn't get to see what they drew IRL. But they went ahead, drew into Nib. Then Princess, summon out Flamebird, Snake Eye Diabolical Star spell, Trap Zone, and then they try to say Battle Phase here, which this is just game. So during main phase, I have to drop Rock, which, I survive. That's good. And then they get the Divine Temple, take Black Witch, and then go Link Spider in the SP, and then SP to banish. Is a very bad spot for me. At this point in time, my opponent has SP banish, Divine Temple to summon a fire, which makes it so that way Princess is live, and they have a blank card in hand. Now, the blank card in hand could be a lot of different things at this point, because even though they didn't normal summon that turn, they did go through a lot of like their potential. Like okay. Like it could be engine or non-engine. It's not the easiest to read here, because what would they have committed into with their engine there? Like, let's say they drew a Snake Eye Ash or a Poplar. They had Black Witch, Token, and then like a Snake Eye Ash or a Poplar in hand. I guess like they could have gone for like a Dark Charmer route to take, but then they don't have Promethean Princess anymore, so you're not really getting the furthest with that. It might, like I was gonna say, at that point it might even just be better just to like keep SP plus Princess, and then keep like strong follow up in hand, and knowing that it's pretty hard to like get OTK'd here, especially if you just like hold the SP effect and you don't use it. Then it's like they have to, like, I would have to go battle phase to beat over SP, or I'd have to like activate Flamebird's target, and then in that case they banish Flamebird and that's game. So I have to beat over this, which keeps them alive. So then they would still have follow up in hand. So I can't really, I don't have a read on what is in hand here at this point. So they go ahead, pass, and then I didn't draw that. Yeah, I went ahead and fixed it. I drew for turn. I'm not gonna lie. I felt like him when I drew this. I literally drew it, and I go, "I'm sorry, Paulo. I can't let this be too easy for you." And I go, "Normal summon Snake Eye Ash, effect," and he was like, "Oh man, why?" It was actually so funny. But activate the effect, chain SP to go ahead and banish. Which, is that correct there? Because when he did that right away, I was curious if that was even the correct play. Because, let's think. Snake Eye Ash and the Poplar. Poplar hand effect to special summon out, right? Maybe they are just supposed to activate Divine Temple think. Ash, Pop, they have SP. If I activate Pop Effect to search, they could go like SP, Banish itself, plus Pop. And then I have Snake Eye Ash, and at that point, I guess I could still go for original. But if I go original, then I have to send Snake Eye Ash to summon Oak. Oak 1, Temple 2, summon Fire. Oak summons Pop. I guess I still get the Hita through that. Okay. No. I think this is fine the way they did it. Okay. Yeah, I think it's fine because of what they had in hand. Otherwise, I think they probably would have held that there if they didn't have a hand trap. So, Snake Eye Ash in the Pop into original. At this point, throughout this turn and the last turn, I think me and Paulo, I remember looking at the clock. I'm pretty sure when his turn started, I think there was like 40 minutes left. Something like that, because we have 55-minute rounds. So I think there was a little over 40 minutes left when his turn started. And by the time it was my turn, I think there was a little under 30 minutes. And then I think by the time I ended my turn, there was like a little under 20 minutes. So we were taking a lot of time to think. And I think we were both fine with that. I don't remember if it was him or if it was a different match. I think it was this match. But I told them to take as long as they want to. I want them to play as perfect as possible. But Poplar into original. I'm fairly certain it was this match though. And then Link Poplar into Anima. I didn't go for Temple, by the way. Because Temple place is very awkward here. It's like I have Poplar. I could grab Temple. And I go like activate Temple, make Anima, Poplar in the Snake Eye Diabellistar, and then like I would like Temple spell Trap Zone, like Snake Eye Ash or something. Then the opponent also has Divine Temple to go take, but then like they Divine Temple take, then I get Divine Temple to summon, so like that's fine at that point. But like at this point. I figured that the only thing I'm losing to is a hand trap because I play through Princess. I OTK through Princess here no matter when they attempt to use it. So I'm not afraid of Princess. I'm not afraid of Princess at all here. And I want the want to draw. Oh, also there was one point where like Princess would end up being pretty good. Because right here I go Pop Spell Trap Zone, Effect Special Spell Trap Zone, and I ask anything here, and he says no. I kind of thought that this is where they would activate Divine Temple to like summon Poplar, so that way I don't get to original, send it away, which like, you know, that would have made it to where like I just like wouldn't go for game. I would rather play it safe, especially at this point. Where like my opponent doesn't have original in graveyard, and then they have like, you know, SP coming back, which is fine. I just like try to combo in main phase 2. But here, since they didn't do anything, I go original, send Pop, and then this is just what I did like in the tournament, and then I'm gonna go through a different line that I could have done. I'm gonna like reset the game state. So I go for Oak to bring back out Ash, and then here they go Divine Temple. You may also wonder why I brought back Snake Eye Ash, and that's because I figured that like if I get stopped on my Ash and my Oak here, I lose the game anyways. I don't think my want to draw is going to matter enough versus follow up off SP. So that's why I didn't bring out Pop. I don't think it actually matters that much which one you bring back out, to be honest. But here, they go ahead and they drop Rock. Yeah, which, you know, Chainlink 1 Temple, Chainlink 2 Rock. At that point, I was like, oh, no way, it was the one to draw. It was a very good one to draw. But it could have also been Valor, Imperm, Ash Blossom, nib, cross out. You know, there's a lot of different things that it could have been to been very good there. Metaltronus. And then here, I say now here I go want to draw, trying to hit talents to OTK, but I draw cross out. Yeah, okay, because I don't think I keep the game going here because it ends, but what I ended up doing in tournament was I went want to draw, put back. I went please draw me talents. And Paulo was like, you can't do it, bro. You already drew Snake Eye Ash for turn, bro. You can't draw talents here. That's too much. It's too much. You already had your one draw. And imagine I just go like talents, take. And then like, oh my gosh, I just start comboing. Oh my gosh, you'd be so sick. But yeah, that's not the case. I ended up drawing in the cross out, and then I set cross out and pass. Then he made access code with SP and the Nightmare Phoenix. And then on the summon of access code, before he can pop the back row, I use cross out blindly to hit Bonfire. And the reason why I hit Bonfire is because there's no other card I can really call at that point that will stop my opponent from ending the game. Like, there's so many different cards that end the game there. And if they're going for access code like that, then like, I don't know. I felt like I just gotta call Bonfire. If they have Bonfire, cool, then I still have another turn to like try to draw into something. But like, even then, I think I still just lose, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I actually just lose, like, no matter what. Because then they just make Dark Charmer, Black Witch, set their original, and then just combo anyways. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I actually just lose, like, no matter what in that spot. Yeah, I guess, like, maybe, because, like, this was back in deck, I guess, like, maybe I'm supposed to call original. Yeah, I guess I'm actually supposed to call original. Okay. But yeah, I didn't do that. I called Bonfire. And then he just goes normal summon out Ash Blossom, make Hida, and then I go OTK'd. And then it said, now I want to see if there was a different way for me to play this turn. So just a little bit fast forward to get back. Okay, yeah, so we get to this spot where I had original in hand, Anima, Snake Eye Ballstar on field. And then I said after the match, I was thinking if I could have played it better, and I asked Paulo if he saw anything I could do differently in game 2. And then also, I wanted to make it clear, now taking mine, think about this. We packed up our cards at this point, and he answered fast. Like, he didn't sit there and think for like 45 seconds and then answer my question. He answered it like within a couple seconds. So like what he was thinking very well could be wrong. So that's why like, I wanted to run through it. And then it said, but he said to make Hida here and hold original. So yeah, I decided to go ahead and make Hida there and hold the original. To try to see if the line that he talked about worked. And again, he doesn't know the exact scenario. Like at that point, he just won top 8. He's feeling good. He's not thinking about how I could have played it a little bit better in that spot. But okay, yeah, go ahead. I make Hida. And then I said it's hard here because the draw is a blank, so I don't know it's nib. But I have to assume it's non-engine with how they didn't use Temple yet. Yeah, because I felt like if it was an engine card in hand, there's a very good chance that they would have activated Divine Temple to go summon. So that way, I'm forced to, like, attack over. So that way, like, they don't lose or anything like that. So I don't know. I felt like otherwise Temple would have already been used. If the card in hand was an engine card, I felt like Temple would have been used. So that way they could like at least like make me have to worry about Promethean Princess and not be able to go for game. But it said, or praying Temple can take pop to hurt my line and force Battleface to survive. But let's just say I make Hida here, and then I said they nib on the effect. And then I said, wait, I was going to say, that's not how they would do it. They would do it on summon, because Ash, Pop, Anima, Diabolic Star, Hida, so I'm on 5. So they would go Temple 1, Nib 2, and then they would Tribute Hida, Passover Token, take my Poplar, search Original, and now here, my next play would be to make Link Spider, and then they would activate Promethean Princess to pop, and I already used Poplar effect to spell Trap Zone this turn, so then I would have no way to get the original into graveyard for Wanted Draw, or a face-up card to send, and you cannot send tokens to graveyard for cost, so I can't do that. So Princess on summon and I lose, and I said I can't think of a way here to win, to be honest. I have thought about other ways, where like I use Anima plus Snake Eye Diabolic Star to make SP, and then I go SP effect, and I banish the Promethean Princess from their graveyard and go ahead and get rid of that. And then, because like maybe I should have had a read that the card in hand was nib by them not activating Divine Temple yet. But if I do make SP and try to banish Princess, the opponent's gonna chain Divine Temple to summon out my Poplar, which in that case will then make it to where now I need to go original, send my SP to go summon, which is like, it's like okay there, right? It should be okay there. But then I'm still just getting hit with nib anyways. So like, I don't think there's a world where I'm actually beating it. Because, like, I could go, Oak, summon back out, Hida, try to combo, or, try to do anything, and then they just drop Rock. And then I'm just, like, losing. So, yeah. And that said, I feel like my line helps play through Ogre more. Yeah, I feel like it helps play through Ogre more. The other hand traps would have already been used. Ash, Imperm, Valor. Like, those cards would have been used on Snake Eye Ash, so obviously I already checked for those. And then also, at the same time, I guess, like, maybe I technically checked for Ogre too, because Snake Eye Ash effect, you could chain Ogre to it. And then, yeah, I guess you could chain Ogre to it. Now I gotta go, like, bring out Pop. And then you just SP, and then you have to, like, I would have had to search Divine Temple, which at that point is just a singular Snake Eye Diabolic Star, so then I end up losing anyways. Yeah, I don't know. There's like, oh, it's tough. It is tough. But overall, I don't think there was a way for me to reliably win this game. Yeah, I don't think there was, which I'm not sad about. I'm actually fine that I don't think there was a way to win this game. Oh, also making the Hida, or like doing the line I did with like Anima, Snake Eye Diabolic Star and stuff, it did feel safer to me, than like playing it awkwardly and a Promethean Princess could end up coming up and hurting. So like putting like all those bodies on the board, and then my opponent has to Divine Temple on the summon of Snake Eye Ash, or on Oak, so that way I can't get the Flame Burge, because then I could just like activate my Flame Burge effect and spell Trap Zone their Promethean Princess, so that way there's no interruption coming from it that turn. They could still Divine Temple summon their own Promethean Princess, but that would be fine, because I could still just OTK through that, so that'd be no worries there. But yeah, I'm pretty sure, since the card that they drew off Wanted was Nib, I'm pretty sure it was an L right there in that scenario either way. But, again, you can't just look and be like, oh, my opponent drew Nib off Wanted. They got lucky, because I was supposed to hold Talents in hand. So imagine if I had Talents in hand at this point, right? The game could end up being completely different. My opponent would have Ogre Nib, and I'd have Snake Eye Ash Talons. So, I don't think you can just be like, oh, my opponent got really lucky. And a lot of people would probably say that in my position, but I think there was a way for me to play it better. I think once I got to this turn, I think I played the turn fine. But I think the misplay was my turn one setting talents as a bluff, which should not have been done. I should have held it, seeing that my win condition was attempting to draw something like Snake Eye Ash next turn, or even just as something as simple as drawing like, I guess Black Witch was never getting me there, cause yeah, I guess Black Witch was never getting me there, assuming that my nib gets hit with SP. But yeah, maybe there's a world where they don't have Divine Temple set up or Original Engrave. But yeah, no, I'm misplayed. I mean, it's simple as that. But GG's Paulo. Yeah, GG's Paulo. Congrats on the YCS win, and thank you for being a great coach. Yep. But yeah, that is it for like the match there. But I think it's very interesting. A lot of people say that this format, all it is hand comparison and who drew better. I think people have proven that wrong over and over again. I mean, look at someone, I've talked about it many times, but look at someone like Christian Urena, who has won multiple YCSs during this format, and I think has done really well at other YCSs too. Or someone like Chris LeBlanc, who keeps going very deep in the top cut with Snake Eye. These are Cam the Man Neal, won YCS Raleigh, and then got top 4 at the last YCS. Like, you can't say someone like Cam the Man Neal just got lucky and happened to win the one YCS and then get top 4 at the other one, right? Like, your luck would have to be insane. And this is happening to multiple very good players. Like, it's obviously not luck. There's a lot of skill in the format, and very little things can end up adding up to big things. So yeah, the goal is to just keep improving. I think it's weird. I don't think it's weird, but I think it's very interesting that at YCS Raleigh, every single draw and every single loss that I had at that tournament could have been prevented and could have converted into a win for me. And at this last YCS, I lost 2 rounds in Swiss, and then I lost this match in Top Cut. The 2 rounds in Swiss, I know for a fact I could have done something different. I saw it like as I was playing. So those matches, at least game 1 in the round 4, that 100% should have been a win for me. And then the round 9, 100% should have been a win for me. And then the top cut in this match with talents in hand, I can't say for a fact it would be a 100% win for me, but it would definitely up my chances of winning this match by a very high margin. So I think you gotta hold yourself accountable for your misplays and just keep trying to improve. And it's okay to make these misplays as long as you're improving from them and don't make them in the future, of course, right? Imagine if I stopped making these misplays because, maybe if I just played, perfect every single round at the last 2 YCSs, maybe right now I'd be a back-to-back YCS champion. It's not guaranteed or anything like that, but, if I just keep getting better and better and better and playing better and better and better, I genuinely believe that one day I'll be there, and I'm going to keep striving for it. And alright, I think this video is, getting a little too long now, so I'm going to let y'all go, and I hope you have a nice day, and the DB Grinder signing off. Peace, have a nice day, stay safe.